This episode from the life of Sherlock Holmes will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by Performing the Classics Theatre Group. The generic Christmas Tree Farm brings you The New Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This episode is brought to you by the generic Christmas Tree Farm, inviting you to listen to Dr. Watson tell us another adventure. The generic Christmas Tree Farm is here to bring you and your family cheer this holiday season. Well, right about now, you probably have the table set, gift wrapped, and fire roasting chestnuts in your living room hearth. But have you forgotten the most important decoration for your Christmas celebration? If so, stay tuned. In a little while, our friends from the generic Christmas Tree Farm will provide more information and a very special announcement, one even Sherlock would approve. And now, I'm sure our good friend Dr. Watson's waiting for us. So let's go in and join him.
Come in. Ah, there you are, Mr. Bartell.
Oh, say, Doctor, I can see you're going to have yourself quite a Christmas. Big tree in the corner with colored lights on it. Where'd you get those? A table covered with presents? You must be mighty popular.
They aren't all for me, my boy. You see, I'm having a Christmas party tomorrow for my housekeeper's little nieces.
Oh?
I'm going to dress up as Santa Claus for 'em.
Well, I'm sure you'll look very convincing in the part. Oh, by the way, Doctor, I brought you a little present.
Oh, really?
Here it is. I hope you like it.
It's good of you, Mr. Bartell. I got one for you, too. Here somewhere. Oh, you mustn't open it until tomorrow. Here you are, my boy.
Thanks a lot, Doctor. And, how about tonight's story? Last week you told us you'd chosen an adventure with a lot of Christmassy atmosphere.
Yes, Mr. Bartell. My story begins on another Christmas Eve, many years ago, to be exact, in 1886. At the time the adventures occurred, I must confess, I didn't quite understand what was going on myself. In fact, I never did quite make heads or tails of it, until Holmes took pity on me later and explained the whole thing. But I shan't try to confuse you, Mr. Bartell. I'll tell you the story exactly as it happened.
Right you are, Doctor. Let's go.
Very well. On that Christmas Eve in '86, I was standing in our Baker Street room, dressed in the costume of Santa Claus. Holmes, his long, thin fingers pressed together, lay back in an armchair, gazing at me quizzically, while our housekeeper, Mrs. Hudson, stood by the door and...
Well, Dr. Watson, you make a grand Santa Claus.
Doesn't he, Mrs. Hudson? Try the beard on, Watson, old chap.
I'm afraid this is going to be a little uncomfortable. There. How does it look?
Oh, you look just like the old man on the Christmas cards, Doctor.
Yes, Watson, it really becomes you. The cherry twinkle of the eyes, the ruddy complexion, and the appropriate girth. What a shame we can't obtain some snow and a sleigh and reindeer for you. However, I'm sure Mrs. Hudson's nieces will be very much impressed.
Oh, they will that, sir. It's very kind of you, Doctor, to offer to come over to the house with me. With their father in the hospital and my sister at his bedside, it would have been a very miserable Christmas without ye.
Oh, I shall enjoy myself, but I think I'll take this beard off before we get there. That's it. Are you ready to leave, Mrs. Hudson?
I am, sir. Will I get a cab?
How far do we have to go?
Oh, Lexington Gardens, number 28. It's just off the Edgware Road, Doctor.
Well, it's not far, but bearing in mind my costume, I suppose we'd better take a cab.
Aye, sir. I'll get one.
Holmes, what are you going to do with yourself? I hate leaving you alone on Christmas Eve.
Oh, don't worry, old chap. I shall spend a profitable evening writing on my new monograph.
Oh, what's this one about?
An analysis of teeth marks on pipe stems, with particular regard to indicated character.
Oh, gracious me. How exciting. Well, I'd best be going.
Don't forget your sack of presents, old fellow.
Oh, great Scott. No.
When you come to distribute them, you'll find that I took the liberty of adding a few trinkets on my own behalf.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Holmes.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Holmes. There's a gentleman to see you. Says he's an old friend of yours. Here's his card, sir.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's old Widecombe. Splendid. Ask him to come up, please, Mrs. Hudson.
All right, sir.
And I hope your party is a great success, Mrs. Hudson.
Thank you, sir. Are you sure you don't want me to stay? Now that you have a visitor, I mean.
Oh, no, indeed no, Mrs. Hudson. I can show the gentleman out myself. You go off and have a good time.
Thank you, sir.
I wonder what Lord Williams wants. Perhaps I should stay and give you...
No, please, my dear fellow, certainly not.
Eh?
You've far more important work to do. Widecombe probably wants his revenge at chess or something equally innocuous. Off with you, my dear fellow, and enjoy yourself.
Oh, very good. Just the same. I wish you were coming with me. I'll see you later.
I shall be there. Come on up, Widecombe.
Hello, Holmes. Oh, evening, Watson. You make a very convincing Santa Claus. Are you leaving?
I'm afraid so, Lord Widecombe.
Well, good night, then.
Good night. Good night, sir.
How are you, Holmes? All alone on Christmas Eve?
Yes, Widecombe. I'm glad you've come over to see me.
Mm-hmm.
What's it to be? An evening of chess, or have you unearthed some recent treasure of medieval pottery that we can discuss?
Neither, Holmes. I've come to you in your professional capacity. I need your help.
Oh, come now, Widecombe. Don't tell me that after all these years of quiet friendship, you're going to become a client.
Yes, I'm afraid so, Holmes. Though I doubt if my problem will interest you very much. It's hardly up to your rather, colorful standards. Care for a cigar?
Oh, thanks. Now, my dear Widecombe, what's your trouble?
Well, I decided this year to have a little Christmas party at my townhouse. I'm quite comfortably off, as you know, and it occurred to me that I have several relatives and friends who are not as well off. I'm having a party for them tonight. Holmes and I hoped you'd attend it, disguised as Santa Claus.
Oh, my dear fellow, I've adopted many disguises in my time, but Father Christmas has never been one of them. Why do you want me to attend your party in disguise in any case? Are you ashamed of your friendship with a private detective, or do you consider my features more acceptable when buried beneath the depths of a snowy beard?
And now, my dear Holmes, do take me seriously. I'm not joking. I assure you.
Oh, of course you're not, of course you're not. You want me to attend your party in disguise. Why?
I'm giving very valuable presents. Diamond and onyx cufflinks, platinum and ruby earrings and such like. And I've wrapped each of those presents in banknotes.
Dear me, where are these presents now?
In a sack in charge of my butler. I was going to dress up as Santa Claus and give them out myself until I got the warning letter. That's why I've come to you.
Warning letter, eh?
Yes, I received it by this evening's post. Listen to this. My dear Lord Winecombe, your generosity with Christmas presents borders on ostentation. We do not approve. Either we receive £5,000 in sovereigns at Post-Renaissance Box 379 by 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve, or I'm afraid your Christmas party will be conspicuous by its absence of presents.
Let me see that note, Widecombe, will you?
Yes, here you are.
Thanks. Plain paper, torn from a penny notebook. Writing is obviously disguised in it. By George, yes, Widecombe. I accept the case. I'll come with you to your party at once, and furthermore, I shall follow your suggestion regarding to his disguise. Just as Santa Claus, I shall be less likely to attract suspicion.
I'm delighted, Holmes, but what made you decide so suddenly?
This writing, my dear fellow, this writing. Though it's in a false hand, I know that characteristic M in my dear Widecombe. I've seen it too often at the beginning of a signature. Moriarty.
Moriarty? Who's he?
One of the cleverest and most unscrupulous criminals in England, Widecombe. There's no time to be lost. It's, let me see now, 6:30. Half an hour beyond the deadline given you in his letter. We must go to your house at once. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
This is as far as the cab can take us, Doctor.
Here you are, cabby. Here's 5 shillings for you, and a Merry Christmas.
Oh, bless you, Governor, and a Merry Christmas to you, too.
Oh, you said you wanted to get into the house through the back way so that you could surprise the children.
Yes, I thought I'd pretend to come down the kitchen chimney.
Oh, you can get to the back of the house by going up the alley here. I'll go in the front door.
Splendid. Splendid. Mrs. Hudson, which is your house?
Number 28. It's the third one down the alley, Doctor. I'll have the back window open in no time.
Very well. Gloomy little street, I must say. Hello. Where's the music coming from?
Oh, it's from that temple across the street, Doctor. The Disciples of the Octagonal Square, they call themselves.
What on earth do you suppose that means?
Oh, some newfangled cult. Heathens, most likely.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm not the only Santa Claus abroad tonight. Look at that fellow across the street over there.
Oh, just like yourself, Doctor. And carrying a sack, too. He's running up the steps to the temple.
Great Scott! He slipped on the ice. I wonder what his hurry was. Here, man. Let me help you up, sir.
Oh, be careful now, Doctor. Then trip yourself.
Here you are, sir. Now, give me your hand.
Oh, thank you, sir. Silly of me, wasn't it?
Oh, we Santa Clauses have to help each other, you know? Up you get. That's it.
Whew.
Oh, gracious me.
Oh, Doctor, I told you to be careful. Now you've fallen, too.
Oh, it's this confounded red coat of mine. It tripped me out.
Oh, did you hurt yourself, sir?
No, I'm all right, I think. How about you, sir?
Oh, I'm all right, thanks. Silly of me to run, wasn't it?
Here's your sack, sir.
Thank you. Good night and Merry Christmas.
Good night. Same to you, sir. Same to you. We went to the temple. Must be a disciple of the Octagonal Square.
You're sure you're no hurt, Doctor?
No, of course not, Mrs. Hudson. Give me my sack, please. Thank you. Your sister's house is the third one down this alleyway, you say?
I'll hurry and open the back window.
Yes, I'll be waiting for you, Mrs. Hudson. This is going to be rather fun. What a shame Holmes isn't with us. Oh, well. He's probably happier having a good game of chess with Lord Wycombe.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
This is my house, Holmes, number 39.
39 Bronson Square, eh? And dear old Watson is just around the corner in Lexington Gardens and hasn't any idea that I've left Baker Street.
Yes, here you are, Cabby.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Listen to that. Carol singers.
Yes, we'll probably have our fill of them before this evening's over.
Good evening, my lord.
Have the guests arrived, Hargrave?
Most of them, sir. They're in the library. You brought another Santa Claus with you, I see, my lord. Another Santa Claus? What do you mean?
The gentleman arrived 3/4 of an hour ago, sir, dressed as Santa Claus. I took him to his study, my lord, and showed him the sack of presents.
Confound it! He's got here before us. Where's the study?
This way.
I hope I didn't do wrong, my lord. You told me that a gentleman dressed as Santa Claus would be coming here. Dear me, the gentleman appears to have gone.
Yes, and the sack containing the presents with him.
But he can't have left the house, my lord. I've been watching the front door.
Yes, and while you were doing that, he slipped out through the window here. The catch is undone. Hargrave, describe this man.
I can't tell you much about his appearance, I'm afraid, sir. He was dressed as Santa Claus, just like yourself. But I did notice one thing about him, sir.
Oh, what was that?
He lisped, sir. It was quite pronounced.
Of course, Lou the Lisper.
Who on earth is Lou the Lisper?
One of Moriarty's most trusted accomplices. 4 Unfortunately, though, I've had news of him lately through my underworld grapevine.
You know where he lives?
He's reputed to have some connections with a new cult that calls themselves the Disciples of the Octagonal Square. Their headquarters are just around the corner from here.
Then let's go there at once.
Of course. And Hargrave,
Yes, sir?
get us message to Scotland Yard as fast as you can. Ask for Inspector Lestrade and tell him to join me at the Temple of the Octagonal Square in Lexington Gardens as soon as possible.
Round, around, around we go, where the weasel may be.
Will I announce you, Doctor?
Yes, yes. Please, Mrs. Hudson.
All right, sir. Quiet now, children. Quiet. Santa Claus has come to see, and he's brought you all presents.
Hello, children.
Hello, Santa Claus. My name's Elsie. Did you bring me a present?
I did, Elsie. I'll look in my sack in a minute. And, what's your name, young man?
Herbert. They call me Birdie. Did you come down the chimney?
Yes, Bertie.
I bet you had a time doing it. You're super fat.
Oh, don't be rude, Bertie, or Santa Claus won't give you your presents.
And what's your name, little man?
Lionel, I've got a cold.
Oh.
Yes, I see you have. Well, children, gather around me, and I'll see what presents I've got for you.
Ooh, see.
The first present is for... Well, this can't be right. It says, for Her Grace the Dowager Duchess of Dooley.
Ooh.
Oh, do you suppose Mr. Holmes has been playing a practical joke on you, Doctor?
Well, I suppose so, but I can't see the point myself. But he did say that he added a few trinkets of his own.
I want my present.
Then, supposing you take this, Elsie.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And this one is marked for the Reverend Arthur Carter. Wonder what Holmes is up to. Here you are, Bertie.
Cool. Thanks.
And this is for you, Lionel, because you've been such a good little boy.
It isn't very big, is it? I wanted a dog.
Oh, wanted a dog. Good gracious me. Well, I'll bring you a dog next year, Lionel.
Dr. Watson,
Yes, Mrs. Hudson.
look at the wrapping on these presents, Doctor. Why, they're 20-pound notes.
Great Scott!
Oh, cool. Look what I got.
Now let me see. Why, cufflinks! And diamonds and onyx ones. Unless I'm very much mistaken.
I got some pretty earrings. Look how they sparkle.
Let me see those. Good gracious. I swear that these are platinum and rubies. What in thunder is going on?
I want my earrings back. Give me back mine as well.
Whoa, well, here you are, here you are.
Dr. Watson, what do you suppose has happened?
I don't know, Mrs. Hudson. Perhaps my toys are still at the bottom of the sack. I can't understand it. I wish Holmes were here instead of dozing in front of our fire in Baker Street.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee fly.
Where are you, Holmes?
Here by the bed. This is the only room in the temple that gives any signs of having been lived in. I think our bird has been here, but I'm afraid he's flown. Wish Inspector Lestrade would get here. Strike a match, will you, Wycombe?
Right. Ah, here's a candle on the table.
Ah, just as I feared. Look on the bed.
A red coat and a beard.
Yes, Lou the Lisper has discarded his disguise and gone. And with him, I'm afraid, your valuable presents.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's a sack lying on the floor. Oh, no, this isn't mine. Look what's in it. A toy dog, a large box of chocolates, a little girl's doll.
What in thunder? Why, this is Watson's sack.
But how on earth could Lou the Lisper have got a hold of it?
Somewhere, somehow, he and Watson must have made an accidental change, and Lou the Lisper is no doubt trying to track down Watson at this very moment. We must work fast, Wycombe, or my friend's life, and those of Mrs. Hudson and her relatives, won't be worth a tinker's toy.
Ah, now, Doctor, you can't break off your story there.
Oh, yes I can, my boy. Before I go on, I thought we ought to have a word from our sponsors, the generic Christmas tree farm.
Are you looking for a family-friendly, memorable Christmas activity that will bring Christmas cheer? Bring your family down to the generic Christmas tree farm, where we will light the world's biggest Christmas tree with over 500 candles tonight. To light your very own candle, all you have to do is pay 10 cents, and you can partake in this timeless holiday activity. And now, what happened next, Doctor? We left you at the children's Christmas party, and Sherlock Holmes and Lord Widecombe around the corner of the Temple of the Octagonal Square.
Yes, Mr. Bartell. Although, at the time, of course, I had no idea what was going on. There I was, cheerfully handing out gifts worth, well, not kings, at least a baronet's ransom. Well, outside the Temple of the Octagonal Square, Holmes and Lord Widecombe were talking to the Inspector Lestrade of the Scotland Yard.
And that's the case in a nutshell, Lestrade.
Yes, seems to me, Lord Wadcombe, you would have been wiser to get in touch with Scotland Yard when you first got the warning note. We could have nabbed him when he came to your house and pinched the sack of presents.
Lestrade, this is no time for post-mortems. We've got to reach Lou the Lisper before he finds Dr. Watson.
Do you suppose he can do that, Holmes?
It wouldn't be difficult. Lou the Lisper is nearly as clever as his master, Professor Moriarty. The chances are that you were followed when you came to Baker Street tonight, Whitecomb, and it's equally likely that Watson and Mrs. Hudson were followed as they left it. Moriarty seldom leaves anything to chance.
Well, where did Dr. Watson go tonight?
28 Lexington Gardens. It's just around the corner from here.
Well then, let's go there at once.
And frighten our quarry away? No, Lestrade. We must use a little subtlety. Now, Lou the Lisper wishes to recover that sack of presents from Watson. How would he invade the party with the least possible trouble?
By dressing up as Santa Claus again.
No. I think he's overplayed that role for one evening.
Well then, how would he try to get in, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, come now, Lestrade. What group of people can enter any house on Christmas Eve without invitation and without creating suspicion?
The carol singers.
Exactly, my dear fellow. I shouldn't be at all surprised if at this very moment Lou the Lisper and some of his gang are singing carols outside 28 Lexington Gardens.
Well then, what are we going to do?
Form a rival choral society. How many of your men did you bring with you?
3, a sergeant and 2 constables.
Wearing greatcoats.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. But why?
Good. They can hide their helmets and pretend to be singers. Come on, let's go over there, and while we're walking, we'll rehearse our carols. We must appear reasonably convincing. Sound your A, Lestrade. Sound your A.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
You're right on your back, Santa Claus.
No, you mustn't make Santa Claus too tired, Lionel.
No, that's all right, Mrs. Hudson. Hop on, Lionel. Hop on.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shine. Oh, they're singing carols outside the door.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Can't they come inside and sing for us, Santa Claus?
Yes, of course they can. Ask them to come in, Mrs. Hudson, will you?
All right, sir.
Oh, come on, let me get on your back too.
Oh, now. Take it easy. By Joe.
I want to see a reindeer, Santa.
See my reindeer? Well, they're up on the roof.
So, I'll climb up and see 'em.
No. You mustn't do that. They're asleep. Oh, here are the carol singers. Off we get, children. There we go. That's it. Now, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening and Merry Christmas.
Would you like to sing some carols to the children? After that, I'm sure you'd like a drop of something to warm you up.
Well, thank you, sir. We'd sure like that.
Haven't I met you somewhere before?
No, sir. I'm sure you haven't. Come on, men. Let's sing Hark the Herald Angels Sing.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sin.
outside the house, Mr. Holmes. Now what?
Shh! Listen. Lou the Lisper and his men are already there.
Are we going in now?
In a moment. Now, men, you have your truncheons handy.
Yes, Mr. Holmes, we're ready.
Splendid. Now remember, when we're inside and I yell Merry Christmas at the top of my voice, you bring out your truncheons and get Lou the Lisper and his gang out of there as quickly as possible. Don't arrest them until you get them outside again. Lestrade, I don't want to frighten the children.
Right you are, Mr. Holmes. When we're ready, just give us the word and we'll go in and get them.
The herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled.
Ah, that was very nice singing. And now, how about something to warm you all up?
That won't be necessary, Dr. Watson. See to the door, Themi. Now, all of you, stay right where you are.
Who are you, and what do you think you're up to?
Please don't be difficult, Doctor. All I want is the jewels out of my stack that you stole from me tonight. You try and stop me, and I shall have to hurt you.
Why do you talk so funny? Do you got a cold like me?
Shut up! Now, Doctor, where are the jewels?
The first Noel, the angels did
Oh, curse it! There are some more carol singers outside.
Shall I tell them to go away, Lou?
No, better let them come in. If we don't, they might get suspicious.
All right, Lou, I suppose you know what you're up to.
Now, no tricks, Doctor. If you try and give an alarm, I shall have to get rough with you.
Well, I don't mind about that, but just remember, there are children present.
How are ye, matey? You are here before us, hey? Well, what do you say we all join in a little carol for the nippers, hey?
Well, all right. What do you want to sing?
How about Hark the Herald Angels Sing, eh?
All right. Come on, then. Let's sing.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Merry Christmas!
Look at them hitting each other on the head!
Ah.
Dr. Watson, what's happening? They're all hitting each other on the head with truncheons.
Peter, you can't do that. They're all going away. They're dragging each other out. Hey, come back here.
Oh, this is terrible.
Holmes, what in thunder's going on?
I'll explain it to you later, old chap. Lestrade,
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
take them to Scotland Yard and prefer charges. I'll be over in a little while to give evidence.
Right you are, sir. It's too bad we didn't catch Professor Moriarty, too.
Well, at least we have some of his cohorts. I'll see you later, Lestrade.
I wish I knew what was going on here. Is Moriarty mixed up in all this business?
Yes, Watson, and I'll tell you all about it as soon as I've straightened this thing out. Widecombe.
Yes, Holmes?
The 20-pound notes that you used as wrapping for your gifts seem to have been scattered all over the house. Do you want me to recover them, too?
No. From what you've told me of the children, I think the parents could use the money much more profitably than my relatives. In any case, I can replace it.
A very generous Christmas gift. Well, children, did you enjoy the little game we staged for you?
It was a lot of fun.
Yes, I nearly died laughing when they started hitting each other.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, children. And now I want you to show me the presents you received.
I got these pretty earrings.
Oh, they were a part of the game, too. A nice little girl like you doesn't want silly earrings, Elsie. Here's a beautiful doll for you.
Cool. Her eyes open and shut and everything.
And what did you get, my little man?
These.
Cufflinks, good gracious. Who wants cufflinks when he can have a clockwork train? You want to exchange?
Train? Does the Lord love a duck? Yes!
I wanted a dog.
There's one for you, Lionel. A nice woolly dog.
Oh, cool. He's lovely.
And here you are, children. Here's a nice big box of chocolates, too. You can all share them.
Oh, love me, what a night. I ain't had this much fun since Granny got her finger stuck in that plug hole.
I still don't understand what's going on, Holmes, but I must say, this is all the earmarks of being a happy Christmas.
Yes, old fellow. Mrs. Hudson,
I'm Mr. Holmes.
how's the turkey coming along?
Oh, it'll be ready in just a few minutes, Mr. Holmes.
Splendid. And while we're waiting, perhaps the children will oblige with something we haven't heard so far this evening.
Yes, I know what you mean. A Christmas carol that really sounds convincing. How about it, children?
All right, sir. Come on, Elsie. Come on, Lionel.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Well, Doctor, that really was a swell story. On a Christmas Eve like this, do you ever wish you were back in Baker Street, celebrating Christmas there?
At times, yes. But actually, Mr. Bodsell, I'm very happy right here in my little home. There on the table is a beautiful little Christmas tree. There is a fine fire in my fireplace. My two dogs, Monty and Willie, are sleeping peacefully at my feet. And, best of all, I've got the love of every child in the neighborhood. Yes, I've got a great deal this Christmas Eve, lots to be thankful for. And, what with the trouble of the world on their way to being settled, it looks as if this is the brightest Christmas that I've ever had.
Well, that's how I feel about it too, Doctor.
I hope that all our friends listening in are just as happy this Christmas Eve as we are. And speaking not only for myself, but I know for all of us. And for the generic Christmas tree farm, too. We wish every one of you a happy Christmas from the bottom of our hearts. God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Well, Dr. Watson, next Monday is New Year's Eve. What story do you plan to tell us?
One that I think you'll find extremely appropriate, Mr. Bartell. It takes place at a Scottish castle near Edinburgh on New Year's Eve in 1900. It concerns a pair of lovers, an elderly baronet, and a strange iron box that proved to be more than worth its weight in gold.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
But wait, I don't have one!
Deal with it.
No, don't deal with it. Come on down to Generic Christmas Tree Farm and buy the hottest tree you'll find during the Christmas season. What's that smell of burning pine, you say? It's a fresh new scent to add to your home. After an unfortunate event at our Christmas tree lighting ceremony, all our trees are 50% off because our farm may have burnt down. Come and buy one today.
Tonight's Sherlock Holmes adventure was written by Dennis Green and Anthony Boucher and was suggested by an incident in the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle story, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Don't forget to jingle all the way to the Generic Christmas Tree Farm, or what's left of it, as a thank you for this episode. This is Harry Bartle saying good night and Merry Christmas.
Golden bridges falling down, falling down, falling down. Golden bridges falling down, my fair lady.
That was a random blooper we all wanted to do because it was funny and it's actually in London, but they're London. Why are they singing that song?
Are they wishing for the bridge to fall down?
Had the guests arrive, Hargrave?
Most of them, sir. They're in the library. You brought another Santa Claus with you, I see, my lord.
Another Santa Claus? What do you mean?
The gentleman arrived 3/4 of an hour ago, sir, dressed as Santa Claus. I took him to your study, my lord, and showed him his... Oh, that's your line.